It's that time again. We have another pleco on some eggs. Well, they're not eggs anymore. They are babies. We got a super red bristlenose pleco. Let's see how many babies we have. Oh wow, got a decent little batch here. See if dad comes out. There he goes. Let's double check and see. These guys, oh yeah, been in here for a few days now. They've eaten up all their egg sacs. So this is what I do. I kind of, before they all escape the cave themselves, while dad is still guarding them, I will go ahead and remove them and transfer them to a tank outside. You know, I have dubbed the Pleco factory wing of the fish cave. These are some behind the scenes eggs. You guys might have checked it out. Little sneak peek, gold and yellow. That might not mean much, but it's an extra little sneak peek of what is to come. Today I'm gonna show you all the new tanks and all the new fish we have in the fish cave. Some fish we bought, a lot of fish we bred. We've got quite a few new things in the rack system, which I will update you on in upcoming videos. But today I wanna focus on a bunch of new tanks and a bunch of new fish we have. Literally all those tanks are jam-packed with bristlenose plecos. We got some bristlenose plecos along there, but let's start over here because both of these tanks are full of bristlenose plecos, and eventually I got another rack system set up over here for more grow outs. Both of these 55s have super red plecos in here. The top one, they're a little bit smaller. These guys are about somewhere between 3/4 of an inch to an inch right now. I fed some rapashi earlier. There's a few guys still on it. I've been trying to keep things systematically. As you can see here, labeling them. I put 47 super reds in here on July 19th. I'll kind of fill you in here on my new procedures. These tanks over here are set up as breeding pairs. I'll get there in a second. And essentially, once the eggs are hatched and there's still kind of wigglers in the cave, I will go ahead and take them out and transfer them to larger grow out tanks like this. I pulled out some fish. You guys can take a look. This is approximately the size of the plecos that are in this tank right now. Like I said, these guys are about just under an inch to about an inch, and they're almost ready to be sold. I've been selling these guys to local fish stores. This is the size that I've been really selling more of. And I also recently just set up a store to sell these online directly to you. So if you're interested in some of these plecos or the other plecos I have, or plants and shrimp, I'll drop a link in the description down below so you can check that out. This is the batch that I've been mostly selling from. As you can see, these guys are about an inch to an inch and a half and growing. This batch I put about 81 super red plecos on July 10th. So as you can tell, these guys are about a little month older or so. And get my butt down on the ground here. As you can see, there's quite a few in here still. And this tank just has some super red plecos. There's some snails in here, but I pretty much super feed, overfeed these tanks. Lots of rapashi, lots of canned green beans, lots of wafers. Just kind of, try to mix it up with the different foods and keep them in larger volumes of water. These ones right here, like I said, I've noticed this is the second batch of super reds I ever hatched, and I was able to grow these guys out in a 55 gallon and get them to a good size fairly quickly. I'm filming this on September, I think September 3rd or September 4th. So these guys are less than 3 months old, already at about inch and a half or so. And these guys up top here are about an inch, and they are 2 months old. Let's go take a look at some of the more different varieties of plecos we have, because we have a few different types. This is a tank right here. Used to have the clown loaches in here. Actually have some gold ocellatus shell dwellers. These I got from my good friend Tom over at Team Aquatics on YouTube. I'll probably do a special video just on these eventually, so I won't touch upon it too long, but really excited to have those ocellatus shell dwellers. These 3 tanks right here, these 3 10-gallon tanks, are all set up as breeding pairs of bristlenose plecos. So as we can see here in this first tank, there is a male calico bristlenose pleco. There's no eggs in there right now. However, in this cave, there are some fry. They're wigglers already. Probably later today or tomorrow, I'm going to move them out. These are the lemon drop plecos, the blue-eyed lemon drop plecos. I've had this male for a while and grew him out. And I recently got a female from Tom at Team Aquatics also, when I got these shell dwellers, and the female already had one batch for me. Another batch of plecos is ready to leave the cave. This time, it's not the super reds, it is the blue-eyed lemon drop. This is the first spawn from these guys. I have no idea how many babies we have, because Papa's been guarding them pretty tough. So let's see what we have, guys. See how quickly they come out and how many there are. Oh, these guys are tiny, guys. Tiny. Dad is still stuck in there, being a little more gentle. Usually this is what happens, where Dad stays in there for quite a while. But as you can see, got a few dozen babies already out. And these are the, like I said, the blue-eyed lemon drops. And then this is the second batch of eggs that the male has been on. So far so good. About every 5 weeks or so, every 4 to 6 weeks, the plecos seem to be breeding for me. And then this cave over here, there's another pair of calico plecos. There's no eggs in there right now, but I do have some baby grow outs in these 40-gallon tanks over here. So essentially, this whole wing and this whole like section is gonna be all plecos eventually. Let's take a look at what's in here. In this tank, we have some more super reds. These guys are a decent size as well, a little bit over an inch. And the other cool thing I have going on in this tank, as you can see, we got some rapashi, but I got some snails in here. Let me grab one out and I'll show you guys. These are some magenta mystery snails. I'm excited to have these into the fish cave. I'm gonna start breeding these as well. I've bred the blue mystery snails, but these magenta ones are pretty cool. They're kind of like this, you know, light purple or magenta color. And I got a few other varieties of mystery snails I'll show you as we move forward. In addition to the super reds and the mystery snails we have in here, I think I put 22 super reds in here. There's also a few of the lemon blue-eyed plecos. These aren't ones that I hatched out myself, but these are ones that I've been growing up since they were little tiny fry. I got them at about 3/4 of an inch. But there's beautiful kind of this lemon gold color and that distinct blue eye. So these will be my future breeders. I'm not gonna sell these. These will just be growing out in this tank, but excited to kind of get another breeding pair of these eventually. These, I believe, are gonna be females because they're already a few inches long, and typically by this size, the males would start to show bristles, and it doesn't appear that either of these two has bristles, so there's a good chance those are both females. Moving over here to this tank, let's take a look at some more mystery snails real quick. These are the kind of the purple dark-footed mystery snail. So you got that purple color. Looks kind of black on the camera, but it is purple. And then their foot, or the meat part, is a little more dark colored. Really cool looking mystery snail. Don't see these guys too often. Really excited to get my hands on a couple of these. And like I said, want to start breeding them out because they got that nice dark, deep purple color. This tank, besides the mystery snails, has some of these calico plecos. These guys are also a good size. Really love the calico plecos. This might be my favorite type. I might like these even more than the super reds. Really proud of the strain of calico pleco that I have because they maintain a nice bright orange, and then just get some of that, you know, calico marbling. But there's a good amount in here. They seem to really like to hide under the wood here. As you can see, they're all along the wood. It's really easy to collect plecos when I'm harvesting them to ship them or bring them to the pet store, because for the most part they're on the driftwood, and I try to keep driftwood in all these tanks. Down below, there's some more grow outs. These guys are the super babies. This is the first batch of lemons. So these are the 30 lemons, 30 plus in here. They're still babies, as well as 32 calicos. These guys are less than a month old, so still super tiny. Same thing over here. This is the most recent batch of super reds. 42 super reds I put in here a few weeks ago. As you can see, still really small. There's one of the babies on the glass. There's a few over there. Typically at this size, they're still on the wood, or a lot of times they like to be by the sponge filter. But really excited, really kind of found my groove with these the Bristlenose Plecos. Looking to add potentially some long fins to the mix here, but excited, been busy, really kind of putting together this extension, this expansion, the Pleco factory has really come together. Excited to ramp up the breeding. I've been talking about it for a while, and also have a few more breeding projects going on. I'll probably put out another video here soon, updating with some more of the trickier things I've been breeding, that like egg layers and stuff. We got some panda cories in here that we've had for a while, but now that I have these panda cories, I have these stir-by cories, we have a bunch of other stuff I'm not even going to share because I don't want to spoil the surprises yet. We have eggs that we got shipped from Spain in the house. So we're going to have some really cool fish that I'm hoping to breed. And I think we're going to take this Pleco factory and expand upon it, keep it growing. Really want to work on some of these Lake Tanganyika cichlids. These gold ocellatus shell dwellers are a really cool fish. And lots of changes in the fish cave. You guys last saw this tank. It had a bunch of South American cichlids. Now it is a Lake Tanganyika cichlid tank. So we'll do a video updating you guys on that tank as well in the next few weeks. Tons of stuff coming in the pipeline. Be sure to check out the Instagram at Wild Fish Tanks. I still post there every single day and give you behind the scenes looks at different fish and collecting trips that I'm going on. I appreciate you guys watching. As always, stay positive and stay passionate. Ooh, okay. There's Big Daddy.